part of my presentation, I will be talking on how to build the successful teams and also talk about the team problems and the team's resolutions, issues and the conflicts. Now, how to build a good team? You can contribute to the organization's overall performance in a team-oriented atmosphere. And of course, how to build a team is very important, and the team building has certain aspects to be incorporated, out of which the first is your individual strengths should be used to divide the roles and allow the members to take important initiatives. Allow the members to concentrate on the positive remarks only and actually moving away from the negative comments. Improving the communication is also very essential for the team building, and of course you have to maintain an open door policy, which is very important, because if you have this kind of a concern and the conflicts and you have an open door policy, the team and the organization management must maintain this kind of a policy, and you need the members of your team to feel comfortable when they are communicating on the issues or any positive developments at the moment. So you need to allow the inquiries and suggestions from the team, which can really help to improve the open door policy. And of course, to build an effective team, the brainstorming should be encouraged. And when the brainstorming is encouraged, the new ideas creep in, which is very important for the organization to be on the success road. You need to build the curiosity as a main component of a successful team. The members should go outside the team for ideas as well as, the other aspects. So curiosity about seeking the solutions should therefore be encouraged at all levels. Encouraging of the team members to ask the questions and seek the answers should be the culture of an organization. Not only this, you need to encourage the teamwork outside the workplace, maybe, taking out the staff for a picnic or moving out for a cafe, for a cup of tea, for a cup of coffee, etc., especially in the warmer months, and it is definitely going to come up with the fresh ideas. So you need to also encourage the team members outside of your workplace. So you will also need a plan to need your events to be planned outside the workplace. And of course, you need to link your team with the social ideas and the social media to link up the team for the instant messaging for a better cooperation and collaborative atmosphere. You need to fix the accountability of the team members and define each member's responsibility. Outlining the role of each team member should be the first step. So as also previously said, you want to use each team member's strength for the benefit of the entire group. So you need to assign the assignments based on their skills and make sure that everyone in the team understands their responsibility before the project even begins. So you need to describe the expectations which you have from the team members in quite detail. The necessity of identifying the objectives both for the team as a whole and for the individual members was briefly highlighted. And it is critical that all the members are informed about these expectations from the beginning. So they have a clear-cut idea that what is the role they are expected to play in this regard. So before beginning of the project, if they have a detailed expectations, what they have, which the organization have from them, it is going to make the work process very simple, and they understand and know what they have to do. So before beginning of the project, the team should gather and write the expected results as well as the behaviors that will aid in achieving them and the goals that must be met. So it's important to note that the team is involved in the process and that it's not merely a top-down management decision. So basically, if you have an atmosphere of the expected results from the team members, this is the clear-cut goals which you need to achieve. So and there's a conversation in this regard in the beginning of the project. It is going to, have a very clear mindset of the participants of those projects. So they will actually steer in that direction, they will move in that direction, and they have a clarity in this regard that what particular role they need to play. Next is that you need to have a precision about the timelines and also to keep a track of the progress of your team members. This is definitely going to be a very magical step to make your teams more and more effective. So the team should have a very clear understanding of the schedule, and having a timeline with the smaller objectives can be extremely beneficial and ensuring that team is not overburdened. So of course, you need to give the timeline to the team members that by say 1st of October you need to finish this, or we have just two days to complete this particular project. So this automatically brings some kind of an action plan in the mind of the participants, and they start moving in that direction. Although there is a pressure, and pressure is a very positive pressure. If you are not following and adhering to the timelines, then how will you move forward, and how will the efficiency creep in, and how will the organization will move on the path of the success? Some kind of a struggle, some kind of a positive stress is also very necessary in this regard. So making of the deadlines, making of the precise timelines, keeping track of your progress, that to what level you have achieved the results or the endpoints or the objectives which were set in advance, it is going to be, of course, moving in a direction. Although there is a flip side also of the timelines and keeping a track of your progress, but that is of course very, very dim, and the lighter part and the brighter part is that they play a very fine role in the overall success of the organization. So as an effective team, you should have a timeline to achieve and you must track the progress of the team members as to what work culture they are into and what kind of a role they are playing. So a proper review mechanism must also be in place to guarantee that the team or the individual members do not fall behind. So make sure the team members don't feel like that they are being followed, but make sure that the management is aware of their progress. So self-assessment questionnaire, the feedback sessions can also be used to do this. So of course, when you have this kind of a feeling in mind as a team member that the organization members are following you, some kind of negative feeling might come, but that is also very important. Otherwise, how will you track where the members are going? Because some people take the advantage of the others being active, so they play a very dim role in the organization. So to pull those members, the individual progress is also being tracked. A proper review mechanism can also play a very vital role in terms of mapping and controlling the progression of the progress timelines, which is very good for the organization. So we need to be very sure about it, that the management is aware of the progress of each and every one. So in this regard, the kind of self-assessment, the questionnaires and a kind of a feedback mechanism can play a very magical role. And also make sure that those who are falling behind have access to aid. So let me just explain and elaborate on this concept, that our 5 fingers are also not same. So when you talk about a group performance or the team performance levels, people will be differing in their profiles, in terms of their achievements. So it is not that the people who are unable to achieve should be taken in a negative stride. So what I feel is that if a kind of a hand holding is done for those people, and some kind of aid is provided to such people, they can also rise to the expectations of the management, and they can also move in this regard that okay, we are the ones who will be the achievers as of now, and there were some roadblocks and some kind of problems which are being solved by the hand holding of the management. So we need to make sure that this kind of mechanism is in place, and a kind of a buddy system we call it, and a kind of a friendship system we call it, and we call it as a bond system, we call it as a help system. So there are different nomenclatures in this regard, but yes, overall the nuances of having this kind of a system is that the people who are not achievers, who are not able to achieve the timelines, a kind of a help should be provided by the management. So a buddy system in which the members who are nearly thorough with their assignments can flexibly support those who still have a lot of work to do so. And it is a fantastic idea. Now you need to create a routine According to a workplace expert, Marta Mockley, expert HR, the teams with a routine function better and have less antagonism within them. Routine refers not just to having a timetable with the operational milestones, but also to have a routine for other aspects of the teamwork also. So we'd like to highlight the importance of creating a routine and having a routine in every process and the purposes of the timelines, etc. of the organization. So routines are marvelous. They help in achieving the milestones of the performance and the production and the other various parameters which are very vital for the organizational success. A routine for problem solving and debates, for example, should be established. And when a group is confronted with a problem, they should know how to solve it. And this may be by way of contacting the team leader, who would then plan a meeting in a similar manner. Outline the problem, split it down into the smaller portions, discover the answers for each section, and then assign the team members who can solve the problems. Furthermore, the team should have a procedure in place for dealing with the members of the teams who behave in an unfavorable or a destructive manner. If someone isn't doing their part or they are bullying concerns, it's very critical to establish a routine for dealing with such a situation. In an ongoing concepts functioning of the organization, every now and then the journey is not that smooth. We need some kind of a mechanism for dealing with any untoward incidents, with some unfavorable incidents which are destructive in manner, in which the people are not cooperating, they are not collaborating, they are not following the protocols, they are being nasty in their approach. So as a matter of fact, we should have such kind of routine systems in place where they can be tackled very thoroughly, and of course dealing with such a situation is also very, very critical for the successful functioning of the organization. If we do not have such systems in place, it is going to be very problematic to achieve the success. Not only the success, but the routine will also not be a problem. Achieving the routine operational milestones and other milestones will also be a big problem. So we need to have such systems and routine in place, and it should be very critical to deal with such a situation. Then is you need to create a routine and define the problem. So speak with the perpetrator and the potential victim. Share the problem with the rest of the team. Discover the solutions to the problem and move on once the problem has been solved. So there has to be a routine in this regard, that you need to first highlight what the problem is, who is creating the problem, who is a perpetrator, who is a potential victim. So we need to share the problem with the victim and with the entire team, that he is responsible for any kind of fallbacks or pitfalls and other issues pertaining to the functioning of the team. And of course we need to dive into and dwell into the issues very deeply, so that we are able to reach up to the root of the problems. So if we are not able to reach to the root of the problems, how can we discover and move up to the solutions to that particular problem? So to understand and to reach eventually to the solutions, we need to actually move on to deep to the problems first. So, and moving on, once to the problem has been solved, we need to move on with the other issues. So while many companies and the team resolve the conflicts by not only speaking with those who are directly involved in the disagreement, some experts recommend incorporating the entire team in conflict resolution practices. So often these additional people bring balances to the discussion and simulate a wider thinking. And according to Don Baruka, author of How Great Decisions Were Made, establish a social contract. So I was talking about the particular routine resolution. There are many companies and the teams who are into the resolution techniques and about speaking with one another directly. If any individual has a disagreement, so possibly if you directly talk to such person, it is going to be fantastic, because these additional people can actually bring a peace to the organization, and of course it will not only bring the problem but also stimulate and wreck the wider thinking in this regard. So setting up a social contract is one of the very effective strategies to encourage the accountability, and there is an agreement reached by the team members stating the norms of the conduct, and it summarizes the team norms for interaction and communication. So we need to develop certain very good strategies wherein the accountability of the members is completely fixed, the norms of interactions are completely there, the communication norms are also being in place. So it is going to be very, very magical. A social contract is more than just a trend. According to a research, well implemented social contracts give employees a greater sense of control and security in the workplace. Everyone knows what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. This can improve a sense of accountability and trust amongst the other members and the manager. So, the team must constantly be involved in the development of a social contract norms. The contract can be drawn out by focusing on the things like what are the team members' expectations of one another, what are the things and the behaviors that contribute to the team success, and what are some of the items or behavior that aren't good for the team. So the team must constantly be involved in the development of the social contract norms, and what are the things that the team should do and how should they act and what should they refrain from doing a particular job. So we need to ascertain that everyone in the team contributes and more significantly believes in the agreement, and it can only work if there are repercussions for breaking down the contract and if everyone agrees to the principles. So it all comes down to cultivating a pleasant work environment and the culture. We need to also promote the development. Finally, the next principles concentrate on increasing the collective expertise of the team. The team may generate greater energy and the understanding through continual development and the training, which will ultimately lead to success. Then is about training should be ongoing. The team's morale and the energy must be boosted by a sense of accomplishment. And one easy method to accomplish this is to ensure that the members continue to improve their skills and get a pleasant experience through training. So training should be ongoing. Each team member should take part in the development classes and continue their education. So this not only improves the team's expertise, as a result ensures a greater performance, but it also benefits the individual on a personal level. The skills they learn should improve their ability to function in a certain role, but the management should also provide training to improve the team's general talents, and there should be a technical or social abilities, as long as they help the member be one more adaptable in the workplace. By having the person's report on the research, you can increase the team's overall success, their sense of being a tight team member, and the individual sense of accomplishment. So a brief summary of what the individual learned and how it can benefit the team can be really valuable. You need to create a mentoring program. It is of course very good for creating a good team. Consider establishing a mentoring program for each team member or a small group of team members, and this can make the team members feel more accountable and supported while also improving their energy. So if the individual mentors are not available, you can hold the regular team building activities with engaging the guest speakers, industry professionals, or the social behavior experts. They can be, very motivational, and it can also give presentations to assist the team work together and trust one another. we need to provide the team with the difficulties. So development does not have to be related to the industry in which the team is working. In reality, management should routinely confront the team with the difficulties that are unrelated to the work. This can also help the team building better together, develop a problem-solving skills, and also take their minds off the work for a few minutes. So we need to introduce such kind of a situation which is very innovative to the rest of the team members to develop their problem-solving skills. Now, communicate and collaborate. The small issues might push the team to communicate and collaborate, such as solving a murder mystery or huge word puzzle. This prevents them from forming a smaller clique inside the team or ceasing to communicate with one another. And in reality, an employee task during the workday can encourage the innovation and ensure that the team tries out some new ideas. Remember to have the team examine the challenges afterwards and write down the reasons for the success or the failure. The goal is to get the students thinking about how working as a team might benefit them and what the keys to successful collaboration are. Yes, you must reward a good performance. Finally, the positive performance and the conduct can be rewarded to improve the teamwork, and when a group completes a task, develops a fresh perspective or solves a difficult challenge. So they should be rewarded, and it ensures that team is respected and they understand the necessities of teamwork and that there is a positive energy system. So don't be afraid to switch the teams around. So change their roles, change their structures. It is going to be magical. And of course, if we are going to do this, we need to maintain a good atmosphere for concerning of the elements that work and ensuring that everyone on the team is held accountable, and the successful team strives to learn and improve not only for the benefit of its members, but yes, for all the benefit of the entire group.